Today, Woodbury High School's principal meeting with students and after a substitute teacher allegedly reenacted the murder of George Floyd in class.
Educators say that teacher was immediately removed from class. Police are now investigating. Our Pauline Lee joins us live in Woodbury with a closer look at the disturbing details.
Disturbing and traumatizing at that. In a letter to parents and families, this incident allegedly happened on Monday, and students reported that the substitute teacher allegedly thought that the students would want to hear about his life as a police officer, but he is not a police officer here in the state of Minnesota. Also, some of the things that the students reported happening in class with this substitute teacher included the act of putting a student on the ground in front of the class as part of the reenactment of the police actions that led to the murder of George Floyd. There was also the twisting of a student's arm behind the student's back and the demonstration of the pressure points on the chin and the face, as well as repeated racially harmful comments and sexist jokes. The substitute teacher also allegedly made comments that police brutality isn't real and that cops would be the best criminals and that they know how to get away with stuff, stating that he once got an A on a paper about how to get away with murder. Some other things that we should include: the letter to families also indicated that this action was unprovoked and that it happened in English class for both sophomores and seniors. Now, as we mentioned before, the investigation is just beginning here with police and with district leaders. What are they doing and the actions that they're taking in the school already?
Woodbury police, along with school district leaders, investigating after complaints from students led to a substitute teacher being removed for allegedly reenacting the murder of George Floyd in class.
The high school's principal is meeting with students this morning. Our Pauline Lee joins us live from outside Woodbury High School with a closer look at how educators are responding.
And the response is just beginning, guys. Woodbury police say those conversations with the school district on how to even approach this investigation has just begun. But the goal here is to not create further disturbance or harm or even trauma for the students, the families, and the community in this area. So in a letter to families, Woodbury High School principal Sarah Sorensen Wagner reassured parents that the substitute teacher will not be back at the high school again. She adds allegations of staff misconduct are taken seriously, and she also thanked the students for reporting the incident to them. She says the meeting with students today is in an effort to provide a space to listen and for processing what happened in their classroom. And she also adds she will be available to talk with students after meeting with the class. Now, the full report has already been submitted to the Minnesota Education Department and as well as the Educator Licensing Department. District leaders say they are working with the Woodbury Police Department and that substitute teacher is no longer allowed on any district property. We should note today is the last day before the long MEA break for students and staff. And students today are in an all testing day today here at the high school, which means some students are testing, others are learning from home. So that conversation will be interesting today to have. But a lot of questions still remain. For instance, how this person was able to become a substitute teacher and why this conversation is waiting until today to happen when the incident allegedly happened on Monday. So a lot of questions that we'll keep asking for answers for, but we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more, guys.
Our Pauline Lee live for us in Woodbury. Pauline, thank you.
We wanted to look into exactly who is allowed to be a substitute teacher in the state of Minnesota. There's no easy answer to this. According to Minnesota government's website, it depends on what type of substitute teacher you're applying to be. There's something called a short-term substitute, which can replace a regular teacher for up to 20 days in a row. For that, you need a bachelor's degree and one of several state licenses. The restrictions are a little tighter to be a long-term substitute. Retired teachers can also apply for a lifetime substitute teaching license. But there's also a state pilot program right now allowing someone to be a substitute if they have district training and a minimum of an associate's degree. Or alternatively, they can have a high school diploma, GED, or high school equivalency, along with at least 1 year of work experience as an education support professional or a paraprofessional in the hiring district.